this great land, like every.
So I'm just going to start off with lesson 1, and this is the myths. There are many myths that are still believed in this country, and based on belief of the myths, we make assumptions, and we undertake consultation, engagement, relationship building, if any, in the wrong way. So because of these myths, it's causing us to continue to fail. And also why we still have a divide in this country between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal Australians. If the key is relationships, the myths are not helping us to achieve respectful relationships. A one-size-fits-all approach to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples with respect to laws, policies, strategies, targets, services, programs and engagement have not helped us in our appreciation of the diversity of cultures and representation in our country. Not only is there a massive diversity of representation of cultures, what level of practice of cultures is different from not only cultural group to cultural group, but family to family and individual to another individual. And a lot of it has to do with the impact of colonisation. So today we still have decisions being made at a state or territory as well as federal level in relation to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. And probably won't be able to change that in the near future. But what we can change is how we engage on the ground, how we consult, how we build relationships on the ground, how these decisions are applied to people on the ground. So here are the myths I just want to point out at the very beginning in lesson 1. So all Aboriginal people know each other. All Aboriginal people come from the same culture. A real Aboriginal person lives a traditional way of life. So there are people who use this term real Aboriginal person. And that is actually very ignorant. You are the Aboriginal person or you're not. All Aboriginal people have cultural knowledge. All Aboriginal people confidently and respectfully walk in two systems or two worlds. Aboriginal people don't need to do workplace cultural learning because they know everything. An Aboriginal person living in a specific location must be a traditional owner. Any Aboriginal person has the right to speak for any matters relating to Aboriginal people. All Aboriginal people are represented by any Aboriginal organisation. Aboriginal people have the right to stop development under native title laws. All Aboriginal people receive mining royalties. All Aboriginal people receive free stuff, housing, loans, grants, scholarships, cars, etc. So how do we identify and remove the myths? Look, my advice in this space is we need a commitment to ongoing cultural learning. Not everyone has access to learning and we haven't always provided an extensive opportunity for learning. Having said that, it hasn't always been an opportunity to share culture, or we haven't always had the right to share culture, and now we do today, and we have pride in sharing that. We're not discriminated against for sharing it, whereas for most of our history it was not beneficial to share who you were. So we need to commit to ongoing cultural learning. We need building rapport and relationships with Aboriginal people, families, communities and organisations. And that means breaking down the walls and the barriers that exist around people, families and communities. We need to be participating in Aboriginal community events, listening to Aboriginal people on matters that are important to them. So I just want to start off with the myths. So those myths that are listed, and if we've done anything that relied on any of those, don't be too worried about it. It's a matter of when we know better, we do better. So we want to work out how do we do things better, and sharing is a great opportunity right now to share what works and what doesn't, but also to share knowledge that other people haven't really had access to. So that's lesson 1, nice and sweet and quick. Lesson 1, the myths.
I came back